Launching a successful first business can seem to be like an impossible task, especially if you know the statistics that 9 out of 10 startups actually fail. And having analyzed my own experience of several years building different companies and having interviewed a lot of successful entrepreneurs with 7 or 8 figure businesses, I have figured out that there is actually a step-by-step formula which will allow you to avoid a lot of mistakes and which will save your business from the very beginning. Hi, my name is Miroslava Smith. I'm the founder of Artifact online learning platform. That's the platform where we have over 20,000 students from different countries and over 300 different digital products. And in this video, I want to share with you my approach to building companies. This video is useful for those of you who are just starting their entrepreneurial career, those of you who have no experience in running the business, and maybe those of you who have already tried starting their own business but failed. The first and the most important step here is ideation. You need to come up with 10 ideas, not 1, not 2, or not even 3 ideas. You need to come up with at least 10 ideas, out of which you're going to choose 1, 2, or 3 ideas which you're going to investigate further. The most frequent mistake here is when people come up with just one absolutely random idea which is not supported by the facts, and they jump into it and start realization. They start working on it as if that's the only idea which exists in the world, without even considering other markets, other locations, other industries, other niches which might be growing even faster. So that's the problem number 1. Beginner entrepreneurs quite often choose a business idea based on their expertise. Let's take an example. You are fond of fitness and you decide that you are gonna establish the best ever fitness studio in your city. You're not even analyzing the market, how saturated it is, what is with competitors, do you have good locations, what are the market forces which influence this market. You're just obsessed with this idea because that's maybe what you're lacking yourself, or maybe that's something that interests you and you think, okay, if that's my zone of interest, I'm gonna be working harder and doing better in this sphere. But it's actually not the truth. The real thing here is to analyze the market. Which markets are growing? What is trending right now? Yeah, and maybe some markets which are underestimated, which people try to avoid. Just one example, like silver tech. There are a lot of companies who are focusing on young people, yeah, in terms of fitness. But let's take a look at the silver age, the people above 55 or above 60. There are not so many custom products or companies serving their needs for people who are 60 plus. Why? Because it's not their zone of interest. That's why a lot of entrepreneurs avoid it, but not intentionally. They just simply avoid it because they do not know, and they do not know the process, how to analyze the market. Below the video, you can find my own Excel sheet, which I use in order to analyze the market. There are different components in it: the market size, the population, the penetration, the competition, and many, many more. So you can download it absolutely for free. I will leave it in the links below. Step number 2 is market analysis. On this step, you need to understand how big is your market. What is the total addressable market? What is total serviceable market? What market share you can get, keeping in mind that there are already other marketplaces in this industry. If there are no marketplace in this industry, better not go to this market. It might be that there is no demand for your product. Always keep this in mind. Conducting a thorough market research will allow you to identify the gaps which you can fill in with your product. So do not underestimate this step. It's really, really crucial. That's one of the factors for success of your business, for the growth rate of your business, and for the potential market volume which you can address. And we move on. So before actually creating the product itself, always think in terms of the MVP. MVP is a minimum viable product. Everyone is talking about the minimum viable product. Believe me, I saw so many entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs, who spent years and months on creating the products, especially in IT sphere, yeah, it can take them a lot of time before they come up with a beautiful app or with a beautiful website, platform, and so on. And then understanding that there is no market for this. It was just their random idea, which was not supported by the facts. So always focus on MVP, minimum viable product. It shouldn't be best. It shouldn't be super with a lot of super duper features. It shouldn't be polished. It should be just minimum viable product, but it should really solve the problem of your target audience. That's the key. It should address the core problem of your market. MVP also allows you to get the feedback really fast. So from the idea until the first realization, the first type and prototype of your MVP, it can be just days or weeks or at least a month. You come up with an idea, you test it with the market, you get the feedback from the market. Okay, that's what we were looking for or not. And then you can change it without spending a lot of time and money on it. When I was setting up Artifacta, I was also creating an MVP. I didn't start building my own online learning platform with a lot of IT guys working on it. No. I just rented the learning management system. I was creating the website on my own. I ran the webinar on my own. I hosted the webinar on my own without a webinar host. Many functions I was doing on my own in order to understand, okay, how does it work? And in order to test it fast and cheap as possible. And before we move on to the most important step, do not forget to watch this video till the end, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and to grab the Excel in the description of this video with the approach to market analysis. So once you've done your research, the next step is to come up with a business model. It's not just the document which you need for funding, as many people think. That's the document, that's your roadmap for success. So business plan should include your business model, your operating target model, and your financial model. Having a well-thought business plan will guide you through every single step of your journey. This will show you what is your vision. It's not only needed for investors, it's needed for yourself, how you're going to differentiate yourself from the rest of the market players. The second one, it will allow you to understand what are the key success indicators, which metrics you need to achieve in order to say, okay, we continue with this business, or no, we just stop it at this very moment. We tested a lot of hypotheses. That's it. We're gonna shut it down. Yeah, so it's very important to understand the key performance indicators. And this will allow you to be realistic with your finances. It will allow you to calculate the unit economics. It will allow you to understand, okay, at which point of my business journey I become profitable. Because as you know, many startups are making losses at the very beginning. And then after some time, some companies it takes years, some companies it takes months, depending on the business model, they become profitable. Building a business plan will also show you and indicate what are the factors which influence your business. Is this the population growth? Is this penetration of cell phones in particular country? Is this grants for education? Is this financial opportunities of the banking system? And so on. So always think about the business plan. It's really worth doing it. Step number 5, secure the funding. There are different ways how you can secure the funding. You can be bootstrapping, so basically financing it from the revenue and covering the costs. The second one is family and friends. I think that's one of the most popular ones. And the last one is external investors and business angels. So there are different opportunities, and it's really important to understand how you're going to finance yourself, your teammates, your infrastructure, and many more. And you also need to understand how much money you need. That's going to be one of the first questions your investors or your family and friends are going to ask you: how much money you need and what is the financial cycle. So when are you gonna give this money back to the investors or your creditors? And the last one, I almost forgot, building the brand identity. And that's not what you are now thinking of. That's not about just creating a beautiful logo or a beautiful name. It's not only about that. Your brand identity should really reflect your vision. It should be created in keeping in mind your target audience, who they are. If that's the people 55 plus, that's not the same design you're going to be using for them when you're creating a business for 18 to 25. Obvious, yeah? Your brand's identity should really reflect your brand's mission, your core and key values of your company. And it should also reflect your tone of voice. If I want to ground it to my own business, when I started the business, I didn't even think about brand identity. It evolved as it evolved. I don't think that was the right decision, but anyways, after 2 years, we decided that, okay, we're gonna create a brand book. The brand book which all of our employees are gonna use, the brand book which is gonna reflect our mission, our values, our tone of voice, and only then you can think about the logo, the fonts, and everything. So when we think about brand identity, once again, the core thing is to understand the mission, the vision, the values, the tone of voice, what you want to achieve. And only then you can think about the fonts, logo, and so on and so forth. And when we think about brand identity, my advice here would be to always be conscious about the name which you pick for your company. First, try to Google it, whether there are such company with the same name, so that people do not confuse you and your competitors, or you and some other companies, like it happened with Artefacto. There is a famous furniture shop which has the same name, Artefacto, so, and we have the same names, but I don't want to do rebranding now, so we're gonna keep it as it is, but still keep this in mind. And the second point, always think about the copyright issues with your brand. So there are a few situations when entrepreneurs were growing their business, and when the business became visible on the market arena, then some people, competitors, there are actually some professionals who are working and doing it, yeah, they brought them to court and said, okay, this brand doesn't belong to you, why do you use this brand? Yeah, so always think about it and keep this in mind even when you start your business. So do a thorough research before picking the right name for your child. So here are the 6 important steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which you need to keep in mind before starting your own business. I think that the first 3 are super crucial, so never underestimate them, and spend enough time and resources on researching the market, understanding the niche, understanding the industry, and of course, understanding your clients. That's the key. Please share with me in the comments below which step you're at right now. And if you found this video useful, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. That really means a lot to me. See you next time. Bye bye.